Hey everyone, this is Shino. Today we're going to be looking at air signs, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. And what we're going to do today is to find what do you or me, since I'm an air sign as well, what do we have to do in order to bring back our smile, like our genuine smile, like what steps do we need to work on in order to work on our genuine smile to get it back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw one card for the obstacle and 4 cards as ways to cope with that problem and possibly to be able to bring back our smile, you know, a piece of our smile, because we're able to smile, of course, but you know, we have like this whole smile, our happiness in a sense. So okay, and also here's for number 1 or number 2, so you could either choose 1 or 2. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. And this one is no reverses, since I'm just following how the book is, and we're just gonna look at possible examples. So for me, I'm gonna choose number 1. So here we go. This is the issue, and then or possible issue, and after then or major issue, and these are the possible solutions on how to counteract it to bring back our genuine smile, or a good chunk of it at least. And also later on, I'm going to be drawing from my stick, so it'll tell us possibly, like, if it's like a more of a yes answer, then it's like a short-term type of like an issue that we have to deal with, and if it's a no, then it's going to be a long-term for us, and if it's a maybe, well, it's like it depends on us. Okay, are you ready? Here we go. So I'm going to flip all these cards. So for the main issue, okay, we have the 7 of Swords. So it's the fox. Ooh, okay, so it's the fox. And it looks like, from my perspective, the fox looks like in isolation without looking at the book. The fox looks like in isolation. It's like very like withdrawn, scared to be part of like the normal society, like trying to hide themselves away, not trying to take that many risks, trying to stay in a place that's safe and not trying to challenge themselves, you know. This is like one place, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe for us there's like possible multiple places that we could kind of consider home, in a sense that like we could possibly make a new branching in our life where we could possibly change ourselves and grow, but we're just possibly too scared. And for me, I could totally relate to this. I mean, you know, I'm not the type to be going out. I'm one of those people that are very homebodied. You know, I like when I'm out with my friends or whatever, I get very tired and I need to like have like a long time before I get to see them again, because like I need a time to recharge my batteries in a sense. Okay, so these are for the bottom 4 cards. These are the solutions to help with this 7 of Swords. And after, we'll look at the book, and after then make more extension on the meaning. Alright, so ooh, what is this? I believe this is the 9 of Swords. Ooh, there's like maggots, 2 eyes. I think what this card, just when I'm just looking at this card, what it means to me. Oh, I'm so sorry if you didn't get to see this. There you go. You see that? What it means to me when I look at this card, it's like that whole feeling of like there's parts of me where I feel like people are not going to like about myself, or people might think, I don't know, like, let me give an example. Maybe a lot of people think I'm obnoxious, or maybe I'm not doing good in certain things, or maybe they don't like me. Maybe people think lowly of me or highly of me, depending on where you are in your life, but usually lowly in a sense. For, well, it doesn't matter, but like, like your status, like, you might not find people that match who you are and stuff. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you have a lot of dark secrets and you don't know who to trust. It's about trust issues. When I look at this, you just have a lot of maggots surrounding something, in your life that plagues you. Okay. So for number 2, we have 6, the Lovers. I think what this is trying to tell, how to heal from this. So for this number, I'm sorry. So for this number 9, I think that we could let down our guard in a sense, just a little bit. It doesn't have to be like dramatic, but we could keep to like obviously like the main dark secrets or whatever, but just show what the personality that you truly feel you are. Like, if you know that you're a good person, and whoever, like, try to vibe with the people that are around you. Try to find that wavelength for both of you. Okay. And for the Lovers card, the first thing that I think about when it comes to this is like, you don't have to choose everything. Maybe you just need to choose that one thing or that one person to invest your time in. It doesn't have to be like a love interest. It could be like trying to make a friend to like a best friend type of thing. Whether at least maybe somebody that you could travel with, like to not be in the same place all the time, maybe to go to the beach, maybe go to the arcade, maybe, I don't know, go to church or whatever. You should try to make that effort to at least talk to at least one person. Okay. And then for the next card, we have the Ace of Pentacles. Well, okay. When I look at this, I see a star. I see a bullseye. I see a log that's trying to get separated, but it's not fully separated. Maybe as for yourself, you may not feel like independent. Maybe you're dependent on something. There's something that you're too dependent on, and you have to identify that, whether it's like, your house being like it's a warm feeling, or just the fact of knowing that you don't need to do something, or like something like how do I say that? Like, it's a crutch. This is your crutch, and until you're able to like identify it, because it looks like you're part way there, or we're part way there, then we're able to snap this log and snap this trunk, and it could turn into logs or whatever, to be able to fuel the fire for us to be like courageous, for us to be able to move forward. Okay. So yeah, there's like swords, lots of air, and this one's pentacle, so it's an earth, and one more. Daughter of Pentacles. When I look at this card, I don't know if it's a fawn or a deer, but this creature is looking like it's longing. I think when you just look at it, it's just, don't just stare. Try to actually move towards the actual goal. Try to approach the situation, even if it's like super, super hard. It's like, oh my God, like, I don't know if I should try. But, like, if for a good rule, it's like if a person or a group of people meets your eyes, approach them, be friendly. At least you knew that they had some interest. They had, if you and these other people like linked eyes or whatever, maybe you somehow have a connection and they want to talk to you as well. Be like, hey, are you busy? Like, I just feel like talking randomly. And at least you could say that you tried. Not many people can be able to do that. Okay, so let's go look at what the book's definition is after looking at it intuitively. Okay, so the situation here is the Seven of Swords. Okay, so Seven of Swords. So for the Seven of Swords is secrecy, self-interest. 6 swords hang in plain view, while the 7th is tucked under the sly fox's tail. So goes the story of the 7 of Swords. A secret is being kept. You're either the keeper or the kept from. And it's time to identify which. Deceit and avoidance linger in the air. Face the cause of secrecy and risk ostracization yourself. Or ostracized, being, being shunned or like separated from a group. So the problem is that there is some type of secret that you have within yourself or with other people, or that other people have, but since we're looking at ourselves, like, you have some type of secret, and that's the issue. So the secret and how to deal with it is these 4 cards. So let's look at the 9 of Swords. Okay, so dark visions, anguish, an extreme dark card. The 9 of Swords reveals the deepest shadow of the self. It indicates insomnia, nightmares, and worries in the midnight hour. Often these states are accompanied by guilt, despair, or even depression. You'll be battling with yourself, so turn to others for help. Find joy, reach out. It's already telling you to reach out. And for this card, there might have been like a situation a long time ago that you possibly dealt with that caused you to be scarred for like your life. Even though like it's affecting you mentally, know that even though it's still going on in your head physically, and like in the moment, it's already done its damage, and might as well you have to start from somewhere to start healing what has happened to you. Maybe you think that, oh, it's like it was my fault. Accept that it was your fault. It's like, it was my fault. Yeah, it was my fault, but guess what? I'm just human. I did this mistake. It was a learning experience for me, but you did what you did. You can't look, it's like, stop looking back. You just look at it with like, you know what? I'm going to learn from this, even though it was a really, really bad decision on my part, So what else do you need to do to get back your genuine smile? So the Lovers. Let's look at the Lovers. Lovers card. Lovers, lovers, lovers. Number 7. Union, desire, joy. The 2 Canadian geese are mates for life, traveling partners within an expansive sky. The Lovers card is a welcome sight in any reading, as it suggests a beautiful and strong relationship on the horizon. Yes, you'll experience all the thrills of desire and romance, but meanwhile, you'll be building a solid foundation together. The lovers honor and respect each other, and with that, they can go anywhere. If you're already in relationship, it's time to be grateful and nourish this rare and precious gem. I don't know, maybe you have to find your tribe. You have to find like-minded people and nourish that. Maybe if you look at this card, maybe someone who has dealt with the same issues that you have is a good start. And maybe somebody that has actually overcome most of it, like they're still scarred, of course, and it still affects them, but they maybe they have some insight and reassure you, find reassurance, like give you reassurance, like it's okay, it's done. Maybe you never got closure. That's what was the problem. That's how come you're very withdrawn in like real life. Okay, so now let's look at the Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles. Prosperous beginnings. In the center of even the giant redwood trees, a tiny seedling once stood. Such is the energy of the Ace of Pentacles. It's the seed that takes root, grounding you for the future. You're in the beginning phases of a prosperous venture. Stay grounded. Go outside and take time to appreciate nature. You may also find a windfall of wealth headed your way. Find a good place to start, That's what I'm getting for this reading. It's like, find a good place to start. Even though you're like, just make like a list of starts that you might think. And after, if this one is like a meh, like an okay one, maybe that's where you should start, It's okay to be uncomfortable. It's like you have to build a backbone in that sense. It's all like, character growing in the sense you're like leveling up yourself, and after then you'll get to the next stage in a sense, right? So you have to find this new beginning so you could prosper in not being this way. You could be a little bit more open, because it's hard. It's just naturally hard for us to keep open, especially in this world, because there's a lot of people that need to see you fail in order for them to succeed and for them to be okay. Sometimes that just happens that way. Okay, and now for let's see, Daughter of Pentacles. Okay, responsible, kind, supportive. You'll usually find the Daughter of Pentacles behind the scenes rather than out in the spotlight. Though quite shy, she's extremely hardworking and responsible. She handles details and logistics well. People depend on her. She handles details and logistics well. Okay, and after it says people depend on her. She has vast amounts of inner strength. Like all of the Pentacles family, the daughter thrives when in nature. Okay, so like I guess that would be like a good location. Be out and about in nature. Don't possibly stay in like this rural city suburb area. Try to find somewhere open with these people that you're gonna meet, or this individual. And maybe also make a shift. How you're always working behind the scenes. Try to be in the front scenes once in a while. This is your time, our time to debut some, because you know that you could do it. We could do it. Okay, so let's see. Let's just choose a random one. Is this a long-term issue or a short-term? Blank, be glad to. Be glad, happy to. So this one is a yes. It should happen fairly quickly if we follow this. If we follow this, then we should be able to do this really fast. So this is like a short-term issue for us when it comes to opening up. For us air signs, at least, like we'll be able to open up a little bit faster than others. Okay. Blank, we be happy to open up. Okay. We will be happy to give it a chance. So yeah, there you go for number 1. I hope that's helpful. And if you have something to add to this reading, feel free to add it. So that was for number 1. On to number 2. Number 2. Okay, what does number 2 need to look at? Meh. This one fell front, but if that helps, the Fool, making the first step, being courageous. But let's go see for us number 2 people. Number 2. For those of you who chose number 2, what can you do to bring back your genuine smile? At least a piece of it, you know. How can we heal to bring back our genuine smile? And if you already have like a good smile, like how to bring more genuine smiles into your life. Ooh, so I'll just make that a pile. So, okay. So, for this one, like I said, for number 1, I'm gonna be drawing 1 situation, and after then 4 ways to fix it. That'll help improve our thing. Maybe I'll just, yeah, I'll choose the bottom card. Okay. Are you ready? So the situation for y'all is the 7 of Pentacles. Well, since this is more of like this is like a pip, I can't really describe what that is, so I'm just gonna look at the book for this one. Okay. So the 7 of Pentacles, period of contemplation. A curious card, the 7 of Pentacles, show a period of contemplation and uncertainty. You're looking back at all of your hard work and wondering if it has been a failure or a success. You can't seem to decide. Shouldn't you be reaping more rewards by now? Maybe so, but the mind has control over perception. It's possible your rewards are waiting for you to recognize them. They are not always monetary. Okay, that makes sense, because this half of this is on this side and half of this on this side. So it's like you're at a middle path in your life where you feel that, like this book says, like you feel like you deserve more. So to give like an example, like maybe you thought you deserved like a promotion, but such and such got the promotion. Okay. Or maybe, you know, if you're like younger, maybe you did so much hard work and you thought that you're gonna get like a bigger allowance, or you know, like, or like you thought that, you know, you getting good grades in school, maybe like for Christmas or like whatever, like holiday, you thought you would get something bigger, but in actuality you weren't able to. Whatever it is that makes you feel like you have an uncertainty in your life, that's what's like the most distracting for you, and how to ail it. Okay, so the first one is the Wheel of Fortune. So when I look at this Wheel of Fortune in regards to what this main idea is, I feel like you have never taken the actual time to sort things out with yourself. Have you been able to sort out like what is real, what is not, what what is a mystery, who is involved? Have you been able to fix all this jumbled mess, because there, like, even though the center is red over here, everything is like really distracting. There's like, it's hard to find a focal point, a good focal point. So you have to clear out the clutter in the thing that you're uncertain about, That's what I get from just looking at it. But we'll look. Hopefully these other cards have like something. And okay, let's see. So there's a crescent moon, a sun on the bottom. Okay, an owl. Owls, death, rebirth. Maybe, maybe you have to drop whatever this was. Stop dwelling on it. You have to stop dwelling on this uncertainty, because maybe you already know for a fact. It's like you have to say it to yourself right now. It's like, can you do something about it, or can you not do something about it? If you can't, then might as well drop it. I know that it's like really hard and you feel sour about it, but it is what it is, right? Okay, so Wheel of Fortune. The next card is let's see, 14, I believe. Is that 14? Yeah, 14, Temperance. Okay, wheel turning, Temperance is balance. So for this one, okay, all I'm looking at right now is the tears. Have you actually let yourself cry? Are you holding it back? Are you trying to tough it out? Maybe like at this point, even though you feel uncertain, maybe it's okay to cry, Just like have a, sometimes you just need to like listen to your favorite music, or like do something that you really love to do and just like bawl it out. It's like you're cleansing your soul in a sense. Give yourself permission to be like weak and like just cry it out, because you just need to, and if you don't want to do it in front of people, don't. Like, you can, just do what you need to do, but don't be too distracted. Maybe like do it only like for like, I don't know, 4 minutes or whatever. Just be like super over dramatic about things, but you know that you're not being over dramatic. It's just, just a natural reaction. Maybe instead of looking at the uncertainty, even though like, just maybe you should cry about what you're proud of. Like, or proud of what you have accomplished with that thing. Like, at least I accomplished that. Not many people could say that you accomplished that. Try to find the balance. Try to be reasonable about it. That's what I'm getting at from when I look at that. Okay, sorry about that. My pad got full of memory. Okay. But to continue, so like I said, it's okay to cry, I give you validation to cry. You cry right now. Okay, stop crying. But yeah, like for real. Be happy for that, so you can smile again. And now let's look at this Father of Wands. The thing that I'm looking at is the wand, and there's a snake. It's like it's protecting this stick. So there's something in your life that you're trying to protect, and you have to evaluate, is it worth protecting? Is it worth me putting all this pressure on myself to be, the person in charge of this? Is this responsibility too much for me? Is it something that is there some way I could do it? Like, can I share this responsibility with other people? So yeah, like, Maybe you're uncertain of who to trust this magic stick with, or whatever that stick represents for you, But I feel like that red or orange light, that you're going to have a moment of clarity and be like, yeah, that's the person. Yeah, like in my heart of hearts, like, yeah, that's the person that I want to trust, Okay. And after, for the last one, is the Father of Pentacles. Okay, so all I'm looking at right now is these antlers, the rainbow, Ugh. Maybe in my head, since this Father of Pentacles, so since this thing is on the antlers, is on the Father of Pentacles head, maybe you have to really use your head instead of possibly, or maybe you've been using your head too much and you haven't been listening to how you actually feel, Maybe it's the opposite. Maybe it's like you haven't tried to rationalize things with a clear mind. Okay. So that's that for what I think about it. That's a little bit harder. Also, you could look at that pentacle right there. So, let's look at the Wheel of Fortune one more time. Wheel of Fortune. Destiny, change of course. Whether day or night, the Wheel of Fortune is always in motion. Some call it fate, others destiny. It's possible to go for months or years without feeling its presence. But when this card appears, the eye of the wheel is fixed upon you. Don't be surprised if there's a change of course heading your way, something you'd least expect. Whatever happens to you during this time, know that it is bringing you closer to your life's purpose. Wow, okay. As of life, maybe you have to make big changes in yourself. Make that one big change. And in this sense, make small changes so it could be a big change. Make small changes to make a big change. So this tipsy line of coins, pentacles, could straighten up a bit. Or however you feel like it needs to be straight. However you need to distribute these coins in your life. Okay? Now let's look at the Temperance. Temperance. Okay, so it's healing and renewal. The great blue heron remains calm and peaceful as she blends the opposing elements of fire and water. The Temperance card asks you to be a moderator, much like the heron. Focus on cooperation and compromise. If you've been excessive in one aspect of your life, practice self-restraint and moderation now. You'll find a new sense of healing and balance from bringing a little harmony back into your life. So, maybe, like, I don't know, possibly like this, like if you use a lot of swear words a lot or whatever, maybe like try to limit yourself to like be like aware of how many times you curse a day type of thing, as an example. And just like limit yourself, see how you using other types of language in place of that modifier can help. Even though the F word or whatever, those other words can be great modifiers. So the Father of Wands. Father of Wands. Okay, so for the Father of Wands, it's charismatic, creative. The Father of Wands is a man of mystique and charisma. Others are drawn to him naturally, and he welcomes them with an open and loving heart. Usually, you'll find him involved in the healing arts, as he's deeply compassionate and in tune with life and nature. He is able to hold steady and still during conflict. Okay, so maybe, like, with the rationale, like, thing, like, don't lash out as soon as you see failure. You know, think about what it is, what's actually going on. Are you actually doing your part enough to make sure that, did you do everything, or did you be like, oh, I'm gonna procrastinate and do this and that later? You know, are you trying to detach yourself from life? You know, put down your phone like once, even if it's just like for 12 hours. Like, for the next 12 hours I'm gonna be looking at my phone. You know, put it inside a box, forget about it. You know, maybe make a slower transition. Nowadays people don't even really want, well, you know, people like usually don't really watch TV nowadays, I guess, at least right now. Like, I haven't watched TV in a long time. Like, I'm always on my phone, like, looking at like YouTube and stuff. But like, maybe like you should slowly transition into like then TV, then the outdoors, and, you know, slowly like transition yourself, you know, so you won't just be like on this side of the spectrum and that side of the spectrum, as an example. Okay, look at the Father of Pentacles. This is steady and entrepreneurial. Okay, wow, that's a tongue twister. The Father of Pentacles is a steady, gentle man. Upon first meeting, he can almost seem dull because of his extreme calm temperament, but underneath is an incredible, passionate man who prioritizes the stability of his job, family, and home. He is entrepreneurial and diligent at work. A true pleasure to know. Okay. Maybe, you know, at this time, like, it's hard for you to like express emotion, you know, because of your personality or whatever. Change it up. You know, show enthusiasm. Be more enthusiastic. Incorporate it. Like, the action of showing enthusiasm is a really positive thing, you know, because sometimes if you're just like dull and like just very, you know, frozen face, people might think it's like, oh, that's just like a resting bee face or whatever. So, you know, just try to be like actively aware, and after then, you know, it's like you're radiating positivity from within you, so like you could rebalance everything. Okay, now I'm gonna go ask, is this a long-term or a short-term? So like, if this is more of a no or a yes, depending on the stick, then I'm afraid, you're afraid, blank afraid. Okay, so this one is gonna be more of a like a long-term thing that you have to deal with. So you have to just practice throughout for a long period of time, however what you believe is long period. And I'm sure for a fact that this thing is going to get better, at least, you know. You'll be able to smile, regain a genuine smile again once you're able to do that. And you'll be on your way to healing for yourself. Okay? So I hope that helped you for both group 1 and group 2. In my head, I feel like it helped me for, you know, because I am, for at least group 1, like, I'm that type of person to be like to myself, you know, it's just a natural thing. But, you know, sometimes it's better to have a group. And for group 2, that uncertainty, you know, uncertainty is like in your head, like you should know uncertainty is always going to be there. That's a fact of life in a sense, where that's the fun, that's the whole game of it all. Like there's always going to be uncertainty, and you should just try to enjoy it. And for the most part, hopefully it's like not so intense for what issues that you may have, but just enjoy the life experience. Life wouldn't be fun if everything were always the same, possibly. There may be a time where you're gonna say like, oh, this is boring, and I want to change. So there's like a suspense in life or whatever. Okay, so that's how I see it. If you all have something that you see that I don't see, please leave it down in this comment section. And yeah, hope to see you in a different video where I talk about something else. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.